Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to bisect a line segment and bisect an angle. Now, a previous video you can find we copied a line. And to copy a line, I would actually measure from A to B, and then I would have a separate line and I would swing an arc. Okay, and we can show that again. I'll show you that in a second, a little different. Here what I want to do is I want to bisect the angle. And to bisect the angle, I don't want to open my compass more than, like, I want a little more than halfway, but certainly not the full distance. So if I put my point at A and I swing an arc, okay, now that arc might not be big enough for the top, we'll see in a second. Do not change anything. Now take the pointy end, put it at B, and swing the same arc the other way. Now you'll notice I underswung this one, so I now need to extend that back up, so I need to go back over here. So you really want to make sure, as I just sneak that up there, that you do the entire swing. You'll notice here that there's a point obviously in the top and a point at the bottom. Now, if you messed up and didn't do it far enough, erase everything, start over again. Mine was just literally like a millimeter away from doing it. And we're going to want to now connect these two lines, and this will be a bisector. What does that do for us? It makes a perpendicular bisector, which makes these are right angles. So I now have created right angles. If I was connect A to this new point up here, I'd have a right triangle. Okay, in fact, all these right triangles, I'd be able to connect them all and be able to do it, but this is a bisector. So that's bisector. Now, if I'd wanted to copy, now let's say I wanted to copy this, and this is not the same thing, this is for a copy. So let's say I wanted to copy line segment. Okay, you'll notice that instead of opening it just there, I'm going to open it the entire way from A to B. Right, A on B. See how I'm on there? I then would come down here, I'd place my point, and again, this is covered in another video, but that's the difference. As I come here and I would swing, and when I swing that point, that's a copy of A to B. This is A prime, B prime. Don't want to get those two confused. This is a line, this is a segment copy, this is a bisector. I'm cutting in half. Same idea down here. Now we've previously taken this angle and we've, copied it, right, where I made a second one on the bottom. I now want to bisect, so I'm going to just make my compass a little smaller here. I'm going to swing. So this is very similar to what we did before. You're thinking like, well, Mr. J, did we do this before? Yes. Yeah, we did, and it gave us these points right here. And what I would have done for a copy, I would have a line here, and I would have swung, and I'd make my point, and then I'd come back and swing. The difference now is I now want to take my point, put it up here at the top one. Let's give them names. Let's call that B, and let's call that C. Make our life a little easier, right? I'm now going to go to B, and put my dot there, and I'm going to swing part of an arc. I go down to C. I am going to place it on C. Oops, let me get it on C. And that, whoops, sorry about the page, folks. Swing an arc. And you'll now see that I have an intersection. That intersection is where now the bisector, I'm going to just turn my page so I can draw this, and I go from A right through that new point of intersection, and there's your angle bisector. Now, well, you will notice there that the top and bottom of these angles are congruent. So why is this important? Well, if I had a line bisector, that's a 90-degree angle, I can now cut that in half and make 45s. So if I did that perpendicular bisector and then cut it in half, I would have 45s right there. Same idea there. All right, folks, so that about does it for this lesson. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully this was helpful. Again, make sure your compass is nice and tight when you start working, otherwise you're going to be sliding all over the place. Thank you. Take care.